Hello and welcome to a ship update video for Star Citizen, talking about some of what you can expect for the end of Fleet Week, more info on the Hercules and Nova. Do you want to pick up a Kraken, that giant sort of Drake floating shopping mall or space station, and why you might want a RSI Scorpius? Get Kraken. The Kraken and Privateer are available to purchase on the 29th of May in 3 waves as part of a limited Fleet Week sale, starting with Wave 1, 4 PM UTC, when the Drake sale and Expo sort of starts for that, and then Wave 2, 12 AM UTC, Wave 3, 8 AM UTC. There's going to be a very limited amount of those ships, both for store credit and for war bond. You have to be a concierge, almost certainly, to see that sale, so be aware of that, and that will be on the main sales page, just like all of the other sort of Fleet Week sales. The Drake Expo is also in a different location, actually at New Babbage Spaceport, rather than the Tobin Convention Centre. And you'll also, while you're at the Drake Expo, all the way up until the at least 1st of June, be able to rent any of the previous day ships from little kiosks there. So you're about to go there, bam, bam, bam. I want to rent a Valkyrie or a Carrack or whatever. The free fly continues until the 3rd of June, so make sure you check out Star Citizen or show it off to your friends. It's very pretty, it's very cool, very fun as a tourist destination. Maybe not as a sit down and play for a long period of time sort of game, if you're not in an org. But if you are in an org, thousands of hours of fun. The RSI Scorpius had a FAQ, and I want to talk about where this heavy fighter sits and some of the answers that they had here for various questions. And let's start with, where does the ship sit compared to other fighters like the Super Hornet, Vanguard, and Hurricane? It is very much a mix between all of them, and has many pluses and minuses when compared to each other. The Scorpius is closely compared to the Hurricane, though trades a manned turret for a remote turret. Compared to the Super Hornet, it's slightly stronger offensively, but doesn't have the benefit from the Hornet chassis modularity there. Compared to the Vanguard, the Scorpius provides less forward-facing offensive power in favour of greater coverage. Flight range, it's closer to the style of the Hurricane, but slower in SCM speed due to its larger mass. They will be re-evaluating the speed and handling of these ships to ensure they will fit their desired goals at some point as well. They've noticed some irregularities in existing tunings, and balance will be important going forward to all ships as they expand out more sort of gameplay and core elements and physicalized components and all that sort of jazz. The Vanguard remains a long-range, heavy fighter and benefits from larger fuel tanks and onboard living to support extended duration flight, and therefore is quite markedly different from the RSI Scorpius, which doesn't have an interior beyond the cockpit for the pilot and co-pilot, but they can't move around on the ship once they're in it, and they are locked to those seats. It has equivalent armor levels to the Hurricane, slightly less than a Super Hornet, and less than a Vanguard, because the Vanguard is very heavily armored. Comparing the Hurricane to the Scorpius, both ships have the same role, but if you want a slightly more flexible turret position, providing more fire angles independent of the pilot's control, then the Scorpius provides that. In the future, the Scorpius's large remote turret will be able to be slaved to the pilot using computer blades, most likely anyway, making it extremely powerful for a front-firing heavy fighter. Alternatively, you will probably be able to have it semi-automated with the blade instead, so rather than slaved to the pilot, it will be able to have some form of automated fire when you target certain things. The remote turret has 2 positions, top, middle, and rear back, and can be used in either if controlled by the co-pilot. Obviously, it's just going to be in the top middle if it had been slaved to the pilot. For example, it's unable to fire during its transition, and it takes a bit less than 5 seconds to transition from the top to the bottom, but they will balance that to make sure it's suitable for combat and doesn't sort of like prohibit you from like being able to move it around. It's supposed to be a ship that gets that as a bonus, being able to move its turret around, not something that's going to be a liability. The wings will obviously block some fire arcs though when they're in the X-wing mode, but not a huge amount. The ship comes with independently triggerable ejection seats for the pilots and co-pilot. When the wings are folded away, the wingtip weapons can't be fired. The ship fits on size 2 or extra small landing pads and hangars, so as such is able to be carried by ships like the Polaris as well. The wing mounts are size 3, and you can have fixed weapons, or you can have the gimbal size 2s, or swap them for any others of that size. Inside Star Citizen this week looked at the Crusader, Hercules, Starlifter, and Nova tank. So they showed a lot of beauty shots of the Hercules Starlifter. The top deck has most of the components for accessibility, so you can repair and sort of deal with the ship if something goes wrong very easily internally. It has storage lockers equating to the largest local inventory of any Crusader ship, and probably one of the largest local inventories of any ship in the game at the moment anyway. The M2 has 12 jump seats and an armory and room for additional crewmen in the bunk area and the cockpit, so they can control one of the remote turrets from there. The C2 has a kitchen and living area instead of that. The ship has this massive cargo bay, and that's the main point of it. It can carry just this huge amount of cargo. Now, instead of taking cargo around in the verse, you could also take vehicles. You can transport these vehicles. You can take 3 tonks, it looks like, because you can actually fit them in there at the moment. You can take about a dozen Cyclones, to half a dozen Razor racing ships can fit in there. It also showed them carrying 2 Ballista, so along with the only ship that's realistically able to carry a tonk properly. This is the only ship that can currently also carry a Ballista properly, or 2 in the case of the Hercules. Or it can carry like 60 Greycat buggies, and I love the fact they visualized all of this as well. So some silly stuff you can do with the Hercules. In the future, you will be able to sell ground vehicles as well. So you go, well, actually, I always want to transport these around and sell them. Cool. The Nova tank is the first tracked vehicle in game. It's a powerful multi-crew ground assault vehicle. Its large size 5 Slayer cannon can one-shot some smaller ships, but it's pretty powerful, and it's got more weapons than that as well. It's not just the Slayer cannon, it's got little rockets, it's got a pew-pew on top, some dual laser repeaters. Bases are an upcoming feature for the game, and they want things like the tanks and other ground vehicles to be incredibly important for both attack and defense of those. They said they want you to have a few sort of tanks defending against ground assaults. That would be something that you would want to do for your base. It's the most difficult ground vehicle they've had to build yet, most complex. That's partly because it's got proper tracks, and they had to make some focused tech for that, and it's unique in Star Citizen currently for having those tracks. And the tracks do look awesome as well. It's very highly detailed. Theatres of War will make use of the Nova tank, very much so. The Hercules and Nova are meant to be used together, and that's how you're going to be getting the Nova tank around in the verse in the future. Obviously, at the moment, you can spawn it at outposts, but in the future, when we have vehicle and ship spawning, it's going to be important to, bam, let's have the Nova tank in here, let's take it over here, let's assault the base, let's attack over here, that sort of stuff. So really, really, really cool, that Nova tank, but not a huge amount of reasons to use it in game yet, beyond sort of like the reasons that you make up that potential emergent gameplay. And lots of orgs are having cool little tank battles at the moment, so I am enjoying seeing some of these videos. And boom, that's a little bit of a ship and vehicle update for you. All of the ships that have been on sale throughout Fleet Week continue to be on sale on the RSI website. I think that all ends on the 1st of June. Please remember that you will be able to get everything in game though, so you don't actually need anything beyond a starter pack, which coincidentally are having some discounts during Fleet Week as well. So, do you own a Hercules? Do you own a Nova tank? What do you think of them? Are you going to try and pick up a Kraken? What do you think of the RSI Scorpius? Have you bought anything tasty during Fleet Week? What are your experiences with Fleet Week? Did you like the Javelin tour? Have you been checking out the Expo? Any sort of ships you've been like, wow, this is awesome? Have you been trying out Star Citizen for the first time? What do you think? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Oh, what's this? I just found all your search history online. You filthy boy, buying spaceships and going on Ship Hub. Zin, show a picture of like a sexy ship or something. You should have used NordVPN. It's a VPN, obviously, and it has my seal of approval because I shill for them. Use the links below to get a discount and help protect your data, identity, privacy, and to help with online accessibility. I'm shilling for spaceships today. Do you like building spaceships? Of course you do. JR Fabrication make officially licensed Star Citizen products and Airfix-like model kits. Do you want an Arrow fighter? Maybe a Freelancer? Some Cyclone little buggies? Dragonflies? Oh my! You can buy them and build them, or just add them to your pile of shame. You want dioramas of ships and vehicles? They've got them too, and they continue to add more to their range. Follow the link down below to jrfabrication.co.uk/board to see all of the wonderful products they have on offer, and use the code BoredInvictus to also get some exclusive Fleet Week recruitment propaganda A3 art prints with each of your orders. Ooh. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For May, it's for a Crusader Hercules Starlifter. It's a big boy cargo and ground vehicle transport ship that you can expect to be added to the game by the end of the month. Just comment on any of my videos made during the month to be in for a chance of winning that. Thank you so much to my channel members who have pressed the join button below my videos and my Patreons as well. Going the extra mile really, really helps the channel. Say thanks for helping the channels in.
Thanks for helping the channels in.
Consider becoming a channel member or Patreon as well, and maybe you'll get some poorly photoshopped naughty spaceship shots. Ooh, saucy. Thanks for watching and all your support.